All right. Hello, everyone, and I'm going to continue reading the book of Enoch. We left off at chapter 60 last time, and this is the R.H. Charles version, 1917, translated from the Ethiopian book of Enoch, and all the references are in the videos before. The first video, I went into detail. It was quoted in the New Testament several times by Peter, Jude, and the Messiah, and found in the Dead Sea Scrolls also. It is scripture, 100%. It was removed. And chapter 60 is the book of Noah, a fragment that is inserted into the book of Enoch. So in the year 500, in the 7th month, on the 14th day of the month, in the life of Enoch. So this is Noah here, writing in the 500th year of Enoch's life. He was translated in the 365th year of his life. So that means at the year 500, he was still alive. He did not go to heaven. He was translated or taken to the Garden of Eden. And there he writes the account. It tells you in Jubilees, he writes the account of the creation, or he's writing an account of what's going on in creation, and he's still there today. In that parable I saw how a mighty quaking made the heaven of the heavens to quake, and the host of the Most High and the angels 1,000 thousands and 10,000 times 10,000 were disquieted with a great disquiet. And the head of days sat on the throne of his glory, and the angels and the righteous stood around him. So head of days, that's the Father, Yahuwah. And the angels are there, and the righteous are there also. And that's interesting, because it says 1,000 thousands and 10,000 times 10,000. So the righteous are there also. So Noah saw a vision, and I'll go with 10. If you look at Jude, in Jude 1:14, Enoch also the seventh from Adam prophesied of these, saying, Behold, the Yahweh cometh with 10,000 of his saints. And this is earlier in the book of Enoch, so Noah's seeing the exact same thing. The righteous, his saints. And a great trembling seized me, and fear took hold of me, and my loins gave way, and dissolved were my reins, and I fell upon my face. Interesting how Enoch falls upon his face, Ezekiel falls upon his face. And Michael sent another angel from among the holy ones, and he raised me up. And when he had raised me up, my spirit returned. Michael's one of the archangels. For I had not been able to endure the look of this host, and the commotion and the quaking of the heaven. And Michael said unto me, Why art thou disquieted with such a vision? Until this day lasted the day of his mercy, and he hath been merciful and longsuffering towards those who dwell on the earth. And when the day and the power and the punishment and the judgment come, which Yahweh of spirits hath prepared for those who worship not the righteous law, his law is still in effect, and for those who deny the righteous judgment, and for those who take his name in vain, that day is prepared for the elect a covenant, holy covenant, but for sinners an inquisition. When the punishment of Yahweh's spirits shall rest upon them, it shall rest in order that the punishment of the Yahweh's spirits may not come in vain, and it shall slay the children with their mothers and the children with their fathers. That's a very interesting verse there. Slay. Could be a connecting verse here, Revelation 2:23, and I will kill her children with death, and all the churches will know that I am he which searches the reins and the hearts, and will give unto every one of you according to your works. There's another verse in one of the prophets. Slay the children. First Samuel. As Ezekiel, he set a mark on them. Slay the children with their mothers and children with their fathers. Not spare. Oh, maybe that's it. To say children, not spare. No. It is oh well, I can't remember the verse there. Afterwards the judgment shall take place according to his mercy and his patience. And on that day were two monsters parted, a female monster named Leviathan, to dwell in the abysses of the ocean over the fountains of the waters. But the male is named Behemoth, who is occupied with his breast a waste wilderness named Dudain, on the east of the garden, where the elect and righteous dwell. See, the garden where the elect and righteous dwell, where Enoch and Elijah are at, where my grandfather was taken up. See, my grandfather was taken up, the seventh from Adam. He was taken up and placed in the garden, the first man whom Yahweh with spirits created. And you see the names Leviathan and Behemoth there, and I know exactly where those are at. Leviathan's in Job. And I think Behemoth is in 2nd Esdras. Yep. KJV. Yep. Job chapter 41. Canst thou draw out Leviathan with a hook, or his tongue with a cord which thou lettest down? Canst thou put a hook into his nose, and bore his jaw through with a thorn? Will he make many supplications unto thee? Will he speak soft words unto thee? Will he make a covenant with thee? Wilt thou take him for a servant forever? Wilt thou play with him as with a bird? Or wilt thou bind him for thy maidens? Shall the companions make a banquet of him? Shall they part him among the merchants? Canst thou fill his skin with barbed irons, or his head with fish spears? Lay thine hand upon him, remember the battle, do no more. Behold, the hope of him is in vain. Shall not one be cast down even at the sight of him? None is so fierce that dare stir him up. Who then is able to stand before me? Who hath prevented me that I should repay him? Whatsoever is under the whole heaven is mine. I will not conceal his parts, nor his power, nor his comely proportion. Who can discover the face of his garment? Or who can come to him with his double bridle? Who can open the doors of his face? His teeth are terrible round about. His scales are his pride, shut up together as with a closed seal. Reminds me of a dragon. See all those dragon movies? One is so near to another that no air can come between them. They are joined one to another. They stick together that they cannot be sundered. By his neesings a light doth shine, and his eyes are like the eyelids of the morning. Out of his mouth go burning lamps, just like a dragon, and sparks of fire leap out. Out of his nostrils goeth smoke, as out of the seething pot or cauldron. His breath kindleth coals, and a flame goeth out of his mouth. In his neck remaineth strength, and sorrow is turned into joy before him. The flakes of his flesh are joined together, they are firm in themselves, they cannot be moved. His heart is as firm as a stone, yea, as hard as a piece of the nether millstone. When he raises up himself, the mighty are afraid. By reason of the breakings they purify themselves. The sword of him that layeth at him cannot hold, the spear, the dart, nor the habergeon. He esteemeth iron as straw, just like a dragon, and brass as rotten wood. The iron cannot make him flee. Sling stones are turned with him into stubble. Darts are counted as stubble. He laugheth at the shaking of a spear. Sharp stones are under him. He spreadeth sharp pointed things upon the mire. He maketh the deep to boil like a pot. He maketh the sea like a pot of ointment. He maketh the path to shine after him. One would think the deep to be hoary. Upon earth there is not his like, who is made without fear. He beholdeth all high things. He is king over all the children of pride. And also, if we go to the Septuagint, and Job gives a lot of different details. The KJV is translated out of the Masoretic 1000 AD. The Septuagint is supposed to be 200 BC. So before that. And chapter 41 says, draw Leviathan out with a hook. Hast thou not seen him, and hast thou not wondered at the things said of him? Let's see what 40 says here. Phoenicians. Sometimes the chapters run together because they break the chapters in the wrong place. So, forth and hide them in the earth. He has gone a steep mountain. One shall catch him with a cord and pierce his nose. See here. Yep. Job saying, nay, gird up the loins like a man. Where's it at? They've changed the Septuagint. There's an older copy that I've got, it's a 1960 Septuagint. And there's things that are changed from this copy, the Brenton Septuagint, which is newer than the old copy. Let's see, I got Septuagint of Job. This is the Charles Thompson English translation. If they haven't changed this. No, I don't need an ad. Alright. And let's see. There's Job, Volume 2. Breastplate, burning coals, flaky flames. Yep, I just have to go here. It's I believe this is it right here. It doesn't say his name. This is the chief creation of Yahweh, made to be played with by his angels. It tells you he sits. Can't say His sides are like sides of brass. His backbone is cast iron. When he has gone up to a steep mountain, he causes joy to the quadrupeds in the deep. He lies under trees of every kind, by the papyrus and the reed and the bulrush. The great trees make a shadow over him with their branches. So do the bushes of the field. If there should be a flood, he will not perceive it. He trusts that Jordan will rush up into his mouth. Yet one shall take him in his sight. One shall catch him with a cord and pierce his nose. But they will catch the serpent with a hook. See, it calls him a serpent here. Leviathan, dragon, serpent. And put a halter about his nose. Or wilt thou fasten a ring in his nostril and bore his lip with a clasp? Will he address thee with a petition, softly with the voice of a suppliant? And will he make a covenant with thee? Wilt thou take him for a perpetual servant? Wilt thou play with him as with a bird? See, same thing we saw in the Hebrew. Or bind him as a sparrow for a child, and do the nations feed upon him, and the nations of the Phoenicians share him? Now it says Phoenicians. And all the ships come together, would not be able to bear the mere skin of his tail. Neither shall they carry his head in fishing vessels. And let me zoom that in. I was way out. Sorry. I'm a dunce when it comes to this. Let's see. Fishing vessels. But thou shalt lay thy hand upon him once, remembering the war that is waged by his mouth, and let it not be done any more. Hast thou not seen him, and hast thou not wondered at the things said of him? Dost thou not fear, because preparation has been made by me? For who is there that resists me, or who will resist me and abide, since the whole world under heaven is mine? I will not be silent because of him, though because of his power one shall pity his antagonist, who will open the face of his garment, and who can enter within the fold of his breastplate, who will open the doors of his face. Terror is round about his teeth, his inwards are as brazen plates, and the texture of his skin as the smearite stone. Dragon skin. One part cleaves fast to another, and the air cannot come between them. They will remain united each to the other. They are closely joined and cannot be separated. At his sneezing a light shines, and his eyes are as the appearance of the morning star. Out of his mouth proceed as it were burning lamps, and as it were hearths of fire are cast abroad. Out of his nostrils proceeds smoke of a furnace burning with fire of coals. His breath is as live coals, and a flame goes out of his mouth. Dragon. And power is lodged in his neck. Before him destruction runs. The flesh also of his body is joined together. If one pours violence upon him, he shall not be moved. His heart is firm as a stone, and it stands like an unyielding anvil. And when he turns, he is a terror to the four-footed wild beasts which leap upon the earth. If spirits should come against him, men will effect nothing, either with the spear or the breastplate. For he considers iron as chaff, and brass as rotten wood. The bow of brass shall not wound him. He deems a slinger as grass. Mauls are counted as stubble, and he laughs to scorn the waving of firebrand. His lair is formed of sharp points, and all the gold of the sea under him is as immense quantity of clay. He makes the deep boil like a brazen cauldron, and he regards the sea as a pot of ointment, and the lowest part of the deep as a captive. He reckons the deep as his range. There is nothing upon earth like to him, formed to be spotted with by my angels. He beholds every high thing, and he is king of all that are in the waters. Very interesting. So that's Leviathan, and Behemoth is, if I can find it, Behemoth, 2nd Esdras. It is let's see, Behemoth. Oh, look. Chapter 40:15. Behold now Behemoth, which I made with thee. He eateth grass as an ox. So that is, so the end of chapter 40 is the, yeah, okay. I got you. So it kind of goes together. So chapter 40 is Behemoth. It doesn't say. Yeah, they don't have the Behemoth name of the Septuagint, but they got it in the Masoretic. I'll bet it's in my older copy of the Septuagint. Yep, it's Behemoth here, 15. Behold now Behemoth, which I made with thee, he eateth grass as an ox. Lo now his strength is in his loins, and his force in the navel of his belly. He moveth his tail like a cedar, the sinews of his stones are wrapped together. His bones are as strong as pieces of brass. His bones are like bars of iron. He is the chief of the ways of Yahweh. He made him can make the sword to approach. He that made him can make his sword to approach unto him. So it's two different creatures, but that's what is. Yeah, I don't know if I explained that very well, but the Leviathan and Behemoth, and they're both in Job, and I think one's in 2nd Ezra too. But the male is named Behemoth, who occupied with his breast a waste wilderness, so he's not in the sea like Leviathan was in the sea, named Duodon on the east of the Garden of Eden, where the elect and righteous dwell, where my grandfather was taken up, the seventh from Adam, the first man whom Yahweh's spirits created. And I besought the other angel that he would show me the might of those monsters, how they were parted on one day, and cast the one into the abysses of the sea, and the other into the dry land of the wilderness. And he said to me, Thou son of man, herein thou dost seek to know what is hidden. So he's talking to Noah, and he's calling him the son of man. And the other angel who went with me and showed me what was hidden told me what is first and last in the heaven and the height, and beneath the earth and the depth, and at the ends of the heaven, and on the foundation of the heaven, and the chambers of the winds, and how the winds are divided, and how they are weighed, and how the portals of the winds are reckoned, each according to the power of the wind, and the power of the lights of the moon, according to the power that is fitting, and the divisions of the stars according to their names, and how all the divisions are divided, and the thunders according to the places where they fall, and all the divisions that are made among the lightnings, that it may lighten, and their host, that they may at once obey. For the thunder has places of rest, which are assigned to it, while it is waiting for its peal, and the thunder and lightning are inseparable, and although not one and undivided, they both go together through the Spirit and separate not. For when the lightning lightens, the thunder utters its voice, and the Spirit enforces a pause during the peal, and divides equally between them. For the treasury of their peals is like the sand, and each one of them as it peals is held in with a bridle, and turned back by the power of the Spirit, and pushed forward according to the many quarters of the earth. And the spirit of the sea is masculine and strong, and according to the might of his strength he draws it back with a rein, and in like manner it is driven forward and disperses amid all the mountains of the earth. And the spirit of the hoarfrost is his own angel, and the spirit of the hail is a good angel. And the spirit of the snow has forsaken his chambers on account of his strength. And there is a special spirit therein, and that which ascends from it is like smoke, and its name is frost. And the spirit of the mist is not united with them in their chambers, but it has a special chamber, for its course is glorious both in light and in darkness, and in winter and in summer, and in its chamber as is an angel. And the spirit of the dew has its dwelling at the ends of the heaven, and is connected with the chambers of the rain, and its course is in winter and summer, and its clouds and the clouds of the mist are connected, and the one gives to the other. And when the spirit of the rain goes forth from its chamber, the angels come and open the chamber and lead it out, and when it is diffused over the whole earth, it unites with the water on the earth, and whensoever it unites with the water on the earth, fragment missing, for the waters are for those who dwell on the earth, for they are nourishment for the earth from the Most High, who is in heaven. Therefore there is a measure for the rain, and the angels take it in charge. And these things I saw towards the garden of the righteous, Garden of Eden. And the angel of peace who was with me said to me, These two monsters prepared comfortably to the greatness of Yahweh shall feed. And this should be, just a guess here, the elect. It's going to be Slade at the dinner, the wedding dinner. Let's see. Whensoever unites, and these spirits here, it tells you in Jubilees. Let's see. If you go to index, it is On the first day, so this is Jubilees chapter 2, verse 2. On the first day he created the heavens which are above, and the earth and the waters, and all the spirits which serve before him, the angels of the presence, the angels of sanctification, the angels of the spirit of fire, and the angels of the spirit of the winds, angels of the spirit of the clouds, and of darkness, and of snow, and of hail, and of hoarfrost, and the angels of the voices, and of thunder, and of lightning, and the angels of the spirits of cold and heat, and of winter, and of spring, and of autumn, and of summer, and all the spirits of his creatures which are in the heavens and on the earth. He created the abysses, the darkness, eventide and night, and the light, dawn and day, which he hath prepared in the knowledge of his heart. And thereupon we saw his works, and praised him, and lauded before him on account of all his works. For 7 great works did he create on the first day. Gives you more detail than Genesis, because Genesis and Jubilees go together. Jubilees was given to Moses. The angel of the presence spake to Moses, write the complete history of creation. Moses wrote Genesis. They go together. Jubilees was in the Dead Sea Scrolls. It's quoted by Paul and other times in the New Testament also. So, it's chapter 61. And I saw in those days how long cords were given to those angels, and they took to themselves wings and flew, and they went towards the north. And I asked the angel, saying unto him, why have those angels taken these cords and gone off? And he said unto me, they have gone to measure. And the angel who went with me said unto me, these shall bring the measures of the righteous, and the ropes of the righteous to the righteous, that they may stay themselves on the name of Yahweh of spirits forever and ever. The elect shall begin to dwell with the elect. And those are the measures which shall be given to faith, and which shall strengthen righteousness. And these measures shall reveal all the secrets of the depths of the earth, and those who have been destroyed by the desert, and those who have been devoured by the beast, and those who have been devoured by the fish of the sea, that they may return and stay themselves on the day of the elect one. That's the Messiah, Yahusha. For none shall be destroyed before Yahweh of spirits, and none can be destroyed. And all who dwell above in the heaven received a command and power and one voice and one light like unto fire. And the scriptures liken the law as light and the law as fire. Let's see if I can find it right quick. Let's see, behold the flame, fire. And the angels ministers flame of fire. Might be commandment fire. Yeah. It's in there somewhere. I can find this one easy. Isaiah 8:20, to the law and to the testimony, if they speak not according to this word, is because there is no light in them. Proverbs 6:23, for the commandment is a lamp, wise virgins, and the law is light. Law is light, and reproofs of instructions are the way of life. Like unto fire. One light like unto fire. And that one with their first words they blessed, that one, the elect one, and extolled and lauded with wisdom, and they were wise in utterance and in spirit of life. And Yahweh of spirits placed the elect one on the throne of glory, and he shall judge all the works of the holy above in the heaven, and in the balance shall their deeds be weighed. And when he shall lift up his countenance to judge their secret ways according to the word of the name of Yahweh of spirits, and their path according to the way of the righteous judgment of Yahweh of spirits, then shall they all with one voice speak and bless and glory and extol and sanctify the name of Yahweh of spirits. And what's interesting about this is the angels, the ones that transgress, are kicked out of heaven. So who's in heaven that he's judging? He shall judge all the works of the holy above in heaven, when he's placed on the throne of his glory. So who's in heaven? Let's see. We looked at the saints, 10,000s of his saints, and also Revelation 22:11. He that is unjust, let him be unjust still. He that is filthy, let him be filthy still. He that is righteous, let him be righteous still. He that is holy, let him be holy still. So there's different groups. There's unjust, there's filthy, righteous, holy. He judged the holy in heaven, and their deeds weighed in the balance. He's not talking about angels there. See and glorify their path, judge their secret ways. Romans 2:16, in the day when Yahweh shall judge the secrets of men by Yahushua HaMashiach according to the gospel. They might change that. Ecclesiastes 12:14, for Yahweh shall bring every work into judgment with every secret thing, whether it be good or whether it be evil. Who's he judging in heaven here? Then shall they all, let's see, righteous, their path according to the way of righteous judgment of Yahweh's spirits. Then shall they all be one voice, with one voice speak and bless and glory and extol and sanctify the name of Yahweh's spirits. And he will summon all the hosts of the heavens and all the holy ones above and the host of God, or Yahweh, the cherubim, angels, seraphim, angels, ophimim, angels, and all the angels of power, and all the angels of principalities, and the elect one, and the other powers on earth and over the water. And on that day shall raise one voice and bless and glorify and exalt in the spirit of faith and in the spirit of wisdom and in the spirit of patience and in the spirit of mercy and in the spirit of judgment and of peace and in the spirit of goodness, and shall all say with one voice, blessed is he, and may the name of Yahweh's spirits be blessed forever and ever. Where's it at? Bless the Holy One. It's Revelation. Blessed. It's in Revelation. In there, blessed are they that do his commandments. Where's that? Well, that's interesting. Revelation 26, blessed and holy is he that hath part in the first resurrection. On such the second death hath no power, but they shall be priests of Yahweh and of Yahushua, and shall reign with him 1,000 years. Revelation 19:9, and he saith unto me, right, blessed are they which are called unto the marriage supper of the Lamb. He saith unto me, these are the true sayings of Yahweh. Blessed are they. Revelation 16:15, behold, I come as a thief, blessed is he that watches and keepeth his garments, lest he walk naked and they see his shame. They blessed him in heaven. If I could find it. In Revelation. There's so much to Scripture. There's no way that you could remember everything without his help. None. But yeah, all who sleep not above in heaven shall bless him. All the holy ones who are in heaven shall bless him. There it is again. Men in heaven. And all the elect who dwell in the garden of life, the righteous, and every spirit of light who is able to bless and glorify and extol and hallow thy blessed name. And all flesh shall beyond measure glorify and bless thy name forever and ever. For great is the mercy of Yahweh of spirits, and he is long-suffering in all his works, and all that he has created he has revealed to the righteous and elect in the name of Yahweh of spirits. All his works and all that he has created he has revealed to the righteous and the elect. Chapter 62. And thus Yahweh commanded the kings and the mighty and the exalted and those who dwell on the earth, and said, Open your eyes and lift up your horns, if ye are able to recognize the elect one, Messiah Yahusha. And Yahweh's Spirit seated him on the throne of his glory, and the Spirit of righteousness was poured out upon him, and the word of his mouth slays all the sinners, and all unrighteous are destroyed from before his face. Also in 2nd Ezra. See. Slay. Sword of mouth. Revelation 19:15. And out of his mouth goeth a sharp sword. So let's go back in here. Out of his mouth goeth a sharp sword, that with it shall smite all the nations, and he shall rule them with a rod of iron, and treadeth the winepress of the fierceness and wrath of Almighty Yahweh. Say the word of his mouth. There shall stand up in that day all the kings and the mighty and the exalted and those who hold the earth. They shall see and recognize how he sits on the throne of his glory, and the righteousness is judged before him, and no lying word is spoken before him. Then shall pain come upon them as on a woman in travail, and she has pain in bringing forth, when her child enters the mouth of the womb, and she has pain in bringing forth. And one portion of them, he added that in there for some reason. And one portion of them shall look on the other, and they shall be terrified, and they shall be downcast of countenance, and pain shall seize them when they see the Son of Man sitting on the throne of his glory. And remember, this was written at around 3500 BC, 500 years after creation, as you see in the book of Jubilees. Enoch was the first person to write. So all scripture, this takes precedent. The first scripture. The heavenly tablets were recorded in heaven, but this is the first written on earth. And the kings and the mighty and all who possess the earth shall bless and glorify and extol him who rules over all, who was hidden. For from the beginning the Son of Man was hidden, and the Most High preserved him in the presence of his might, and revealed him to the elect. And the congregation of the elect and holy shall be sown, and all the elect shall stand before him on that day, and all the kings and the mighty and the exalted and those who rule the earth shall fall down before him on their faces, and worship and set their hope upon that Son of Man, and petition him and supplicate for mercy at his hands. Nevertheless, that Yahweh's spirits will so press them that they shall hastily go forth from his presence, and their faces shall be filled with shame, and the darkness grow deeper on their faces. So all the people that are in charge now, don't worry about it. And he will deliver them to the angels for punishment, to execute vengeance on them, because they have oppressed his children and his elect, and they shall be a spectacle for the righteous and for his elect. And if you look in, let's see here. Let's go back out. Isaiah, which is not in the regular KJV, the word that I'm looking for. Where's it at? Isaiah, Jezekiel, Jeremiah, Isaiah. There you go. Translated from the Greek. If you go to Isaiah, and you'll notice that's in the New Testament there, because the New Testament's translated out of Greek. 66. I could have just went to Jeremiah and went back one. Isaiah 66. See, it tells you here at the end. For as the new heaven and new earth which I make remain before me, saith Yahweh, so shall your seed and your name continue, and it shall come to pass from month to month, and from Sabbath to Sabbath, that all flesh shall come to worship before me in Jerusalem, saith Yahweh. This is missing in the KJV. All flesh are going to come to Jerusalem to worship him, or Jerusalem. And it says new moon to new moon in the KJV because they worship the moon month to month. And they shall go forth and see the carcasses of the men that have transgressed against me, for their worm shall not die, and their fire shall not be quenched, and they shall be a spectacle to all flesh. Spectacle. Where we see that out? They shall be a spectacle for the righteous and his elect. They shall rejoice over them, because the wrath of Yahweh of spirits rested upon them, and his sword is drunk with their blood. And the righteous and elect shall be saved on that day, and they shall never thenceforth see the face of the sinners and unrighteous. And Yahweh of spirits will abide over them, and with that Son of Man shall they eat and lie down and rise up forever and ever. And the righteous and elect shall have risen from the earth, and ceased to be of downcast countenance, and they shall have been clothed with garments of glory. It's all end times language. I like to use Revelation for a reference because it gives you an idea of the time. Everyone knows Revelation's the end, so let's see, garments of glory. Maybe that's it. No. It's in Revelations. Garments. Revelations. He gives them garments in there. I wish I could remember where all this stuff was at. Maybe that's it. He says, I come with the thief, keep his garments. Gave them garments. Just do that. Nope. I can't remember where it's at. And these shall be the garments of life from Yahweh's spirits, and your garments shall not grow old, nor your glory pass away before Yahweh's spirits. 44. Chapter 63. In those days shall the mighty and the kings who possess the earth implore him to grant them a little respite from his angels of punishment, to whom they were delivered, that they might fall down and worship before Yahweh's spirits and confess their sins before him. And they shall bless and glorify Yahweh's spirits and say, Blessed is Yahweh's spirits and the King of kings, and Yahweh the mighty, and Yahweh the rich, and Yahweh of the glory, and Yahweh of wisdom, And splendid in every secret thing is thy power from generation to generation, and thy glory forever and ever. Deep are thy secrets and innumerable, and thy righteousness is beyond reckoning. And you look at secrets. He tells you in Proverbs 25:2, it is glory of Yahweh to conceal a thing, but the honor of kings to search out a matter. And also his righteousness. Psalm 119, 142, thy righteousness is an everlasting righteousness, and thy law is the truth. Thy righteousness is beyond reckoning, and thy secrets innumerable, deep and innumerable. We have now learnt that we should glorify and bless Yahweh of kings, and him who is king over all kings, the King of kings, Yahusha. And they shall say, would that we had rest to glorify and give thanks and confess our faith before his glory. And now we long for a little rest, but find it not. We follow hard upon and obtain it not. And light has vanished from before us, and darkness is our dwelling place forever and ever. For we have not believed before him, nor glorified the name of Yahweh of spirits, nor glorified our Master. But our hope was in the scepter of our kingdom and in our glory. And in the day of our suffering and tribulation, he saves us not. And we find no respite for confession that our Master is true in all his works and in his judgments, and his justice and his judgments have no respect of persons. And we pass away from before his face on account of our works, and all our sins are reckoned up in righteousness. Now they shall say unto themselves, our souls are full of unrighteous gain, but it does not prevent us from descending from the midst thereof into the burden of Sheol. And after that their faces shall be filled with darkness and shame before that Son of Man, and they shall be driven from his presence, and the sword shall abide before his face in their midst. Thus spake Yahweh of spirits, this is the ordinance and judgment with respect to the mighty and the kings and the exalted and those who possess the earth before Yahweh of spirits. Kings cast down. That's it. Oh, Daniel 7:9, I beheld till thrones were cast down, the ancients of days did sit, whose garment was white as snow, and the hair of his head was like the pure wool, and his throne was like the fiery flame, and his wheels as a burning fire. A fiery stream issued and came forth from before him. Thousands ministered unto him, and 10,000 times 10,000 stood before him. The judgment was set, and the books were opened. I beheld them because of the voice of the great words which the horn spake. The beast was slain. Chapter 64, and other forms I saw hidden in that place. I heard the voice of the angel saying, these are the angels who descended to the earth and revealed what was hidden to the children of men and seduced the children of men into committing sin. That's the fallen angels. So we're out of the book of Noah and we're back into Enoch. Chapter 65, in those days, well, maybe it was part of Noah. In those days Noah saw the earth had sunk down, and its destruction was nigh. And he arose from thence, and went to the ends of the earth, and cried aloud to his grandfather Enoch. So he went and found Enoch at the end of the earth, the Garden of Eden, in the east. And Noah said there 3 times with an embittered voice, hear me, hear me, hear me. And I said unto him, tell me what it is that is falling out on the earth, that the earth is in such evil plight and shaken, lest perchance I shall perish with it. And thereupon there was a great commotion on the earth, and a voice was heard from heaven, and I fell on my face And Enoch my grandfather came and stood by me, and said unto me, Why hast thou cried unto me with a bitter cry and weeping? And a command has gone forth from the presence of Yahweh concerning those who dwell on the earth, that their ruin is accomplished, because they have learnt all the secrets of the angels, and all the violence of the Satans, and all their powers, the most secret ones, and all the power of those who practice sorcery. So here's all the reasons that the earth was flooded. And the power of witchcraft, and the power of those who make molten images for the whole earth, and how silver is produced from the dust of the earth, and how soft metal originates in the earth. For lead and tin are not produced from the earth like the first. It is a fountain that produces them, and an angel stands therein, and that angel is preeminent. And after that my grandfather Enoch took hold of me by my hand, and raised me up, and said unto me, Go, for I have asked Yahweh's spirits as touching this commotion on the earth. And he said unto me, Because of their unrighteousness, their judgment has been determined upon, and shall not be withheld by me forever. Because of the sorceries which they have searched out and learnt, the earth and those who dwell upon it shall be destroyed. And these they have no place of repentance forever, because they have shown them what was hidden, the fallen angels, and they are the damned. But as for thee, my son, the Lord Yahweh's spirits knows that thou art pure and guiltless of this reproach concerning the secrets. And he has destined thy name to be among the holy, and will preserve thee amongst those who dwell on the earth, and has destined thy righteous seed both for kingship and for great honors, and from thy seed shall proceed a fountain of the righteous, and holy without number forever. Israel. Shem. His sons were Shem, Ham, and Japheth, and Shem is the lineage that Abraham came out of. Chapter 66, And after that he showed me the angels of punishment, who are prepared to come and let loose all the powers of the waters which are beneath in the earth, in order to bring judgment and destruction on all who abide and dwell on the earth. That's the flood judgment. And Yahweh's spirits gave commandment to the angels who were going forth, that they should cause the waters to rise, but should hold them in check. Should not cause the waters to rise, but should hold them in check, for those angels were over the powers of the waters. And I went away from the presence of Enoch. Chapter 67, and I don't like to read these here, because sometimes they'll tell you stuff that it's their interpretation. Chapter 67, And in those days the word of Yahweh came unto me, and he said unto me, Noah. And who's the word? The Messiah, word made flesh. Made flesh, who died for our sins. By his blood we're saved, by no other. John 1:14, And the word was made flesh, and dwelt among us, and we beheld his glory, the glory as of the only begotten of the Father, full of grace and truth. The word made flesh. Noah, thy lot has come up before me, a lot without blame, a lot of love and uprightness. And now the angels are making a wooden building. And when they have completed that task, I will place my hand upon it and preserve it. And there shall come forth from it the seed of life, and a change shall set in so that the earth will not remain without inhabitant. And I will make fast thy seed before me forever and ever, and I will spread abroad those who dwell with thee. It shall not be unfruitful on the face of the earth, but it shall be blessed and multiplied on the earth in the name of Yahweh. And he will imprison those angels who have shown unrighteousness in that burning valley which my grandfather Enoch had formerly shown to me in the west, among the mountains of gold and silver, and iron and soft metal and tin. And I saw that valley in which there was a great convulsion, and a convulsion of the waters. And when all this took place, from that fiery molten metal, and from the convulsion thereof, in that place there was produced a smell of sulfur, and it was connected with those waters. And that valley of the angels who had led astray mankind burned beneath that land. And though its valleys proceed through its valleys proceed streams of fire, where these angels are punished who had led astray those who dwell upon the earth. But those waters shall in those days serve for the kings and the mighty and the exalted, and those who dwell on the earth, for the healing of the body, but for the punishment of the spirit. Now their spirit is full of lust, that they may be punished in their body. For they have denied Yahweh's spirits, and see their punishment daily. and yet believe not in his name. And in proportion as the burning of their bodies becomes severe, a corresponding change shall take place in their spirit forever and ever. For before Yahweh's spirits none shall utter an idle word. For the judgment shall come upon them, because they believe in the lust of their body and deny the Spirit of Yahweh. No idle word. Matthew 12:36. But I say unto you that every idle word that men shall speak, they shall give account thereof in the day of judgment. For the judgment shall come upon them, because they believe in the lust of their body and deny the Spirit of Yahweh. I already read that. And those same waters will undergo a change in those days. For when those angels are punished in these water springs shall change their temperature. And when the angels ascend, this water of the springs shall change and become cold. And I heard Michael answering and saying, This judgment wherewith the angels are judged is a testimony for the kings and the mighty who possess the earth, because these waters of judgment minister to the healing of the body of the kings and the lust of their body. Therefore they will not see and will not believe that those waters will change and become a fire which burns forever. Chapter 68. And after that my grandfather Enoch gave me the teaching of all the secrets of the book in the parables which had been given to him, and he put them together for me in the words of the book of the parables. So he gave them to him at the Garden of Eden before the flood. After the flood, the garden's covered. So he was able to go to Enoch before the flood. And on that day Michael answered Raphael and said, The power of the Spirit transports and makes me to tremble because of the severity of the judgment of the secrets, the judgment of the angels. Who can endure the severe judgment which has been executed, and before which they melt away? And Michael answered again and said to Raphael, Who is he? And Raphael is another archangel. Who is he whose heart is not softened concerning it, and whose reins are not troubled by this word of judgment that has gone forth upon them because of those who have thus led them out? And it came to pass, when he stood before Yahweh's spirits, Michael said thus to Raphael, I will not take their part under the eye of Yahweh, for the Yahweh's spirits has been angry with them, because they do as if they were Yahweh. How many people we see running around pretending like they're God? Therefore all that is hidden shall come upon them forever and ever. For neither angel nor man shall have his portion in it, but alone they have received their judgment forever and ever. Genesis 3:19, In the sweat of thy face thou shalt eat bread, till thou return unto the ground, for out of it wast thou taken, for dust thou art, and dust thou shalt thou return. I came from the dirt. What am I? He's the potter. I'm the clay. Romans 9:21, Hath not the potter power over the clay in the same lump to make one vessel unto honor and another unto dishonor? What if Yahweh, willing to show his wrath and to make his power known, endured with much longsuffering the vessels of wrath fitted for destruction, and that he might make known the riches of his glory on the vessels of mercy, which he hath before prepared unto glory, even us whom he hath called, not of the Jews only, but also of the Gentiles, Israel. He made some for destruction and some for glory. We're dust. We came from dust. He's the creator. Who are we to say what he does? Chapter 69, And after this judgment they shall terrify and make them to tremble, because they have shown this to those who dwell on the earth. And behold, the names of those angels, and these are their names. The first of them is Semjaza, the second Artikkifa, and the third Armin, the fourth Kokabel, the fifth Turiel, the sixth Rumjael, the seventh Danjel, the eighth Nekiel, the ninth Barakil, the 10th Azazel, the 11th Amaros, the 12th Batarjal. I'm probably not pronouncing these right, but the 13th Busagel, the 14th Hananel, the 15th Turiel, the 16th Sympaziel, the 17th Jetriel, the 18th Tumiel, the 19th Turiel, the 20th Rumiel, the 21st Azazel, 10th Azazel, 21st Azazel. Maybe that's a mistranslation. And these are the chiefs of their angels and their names, and they're the chief over the hundreds and over 50s and over 10s. The name of the first Jachan, that is the one who led astray all the sons of Yahweh, that's the angels, and brought them down to the earth and led them astray through the daughters of men. And the second was named Asbel. He imparted to the holy sons of Yahweh evil counsel and led them astray so that they defiled their bodies with the daughters of men. And the third was named Gadriel. He it is who showed the children of men all the blows of death, and he led astray Eve. What's on the back of our dollar bill here in America? In God we trust, with a Freemason Illuminati pyramid. Gadriel, God we trust. Led astray Eve, Satan. Yeah, right. That's the reason I don't say God very much, but and showed the weapons of death to the sons of men, the shield and the coat of mail and the sword for battle, and all the weapons of death to the children of men. And from his hand they have proceeded against those who dwell on the earth from that day and forevermore. And the fourth was named Pinamu. He taught the children of men the bitter and the sweet, and he taught them all the secrets of their wisdom. And he instructed mankind in writing with ink and paper, and thereby many sinned from eternity to eternity and until this day. For men were not created for such a purpose, to give confirmation to their good faith with pen and ink. For men were created exactly like the angels, to the intent that they should continue pure and righteous, and death, which destroys everything, could not have taken hold of them. But through this their knowledge they are perishing, and through this power it is consuming me. And the fifth was named Kazdejah. This is he who showed the children of men all the wicked smitings of spirits and demons, and the smitings of the embryo in the womb, abortion, that it may pass away, and the smitings of the soul, the bites of the serpent, the smitings which befall through the noontide heat, the son of the serpent named Tabaet. And this is the task of Casbeel, the chief of the oath, which he showed to the holy ones when he dwelt high above in glory, and its name is Bekah. This angel requested Michael to show him the hidden name, that he might enunciate it in the oath, so that those might quake before that name and oath, who revealed all that was in secret to the children of men. The hidden name. What did we read earlier? That he hid the Son of Man, or he hid the Son's name, hidden name. And this is the power of this oath, for it is powerful and strong, and he placed this oath, a key, in the hand of Michael, and these are the secrets of this oath, and they are strong through his oath, and the heaven was suspended before the world was created, and forever, and through it the earth was founded upon the water, and from the secret recesses of the mountains come beautiful waters, and from the creation of the world and unto eternity, and through that oath the sea was created, and as its foundation he set for it the sand against the time of its anger, and it dare not pass beyond it from the creation of the world unto eternity. And through that oath are the depths made fast, and abide and stir not from their place from eternity to eternity. And through that oath the sun and moon complete their course, and deviate not from their ordinance from eternity to eternity. And through that oath the stars complete their course, and he calls them by their names, and they answer him from eternity to eternity. And in like manner the spirits of the water, and of the winds, and of all the zephyrs, and their paths from all the quarters of the winds, and there are preserved the voices of thunder, and the light of lightnings, and there are preserved the chambers of the hail, chambers of the hoarfrost, and chambers of the mist, and chambers of the rain and the dew. And all these believe and give thanks before Yahweh spirits, and glorify him with all their power, and their food is in every act of thanksgiving. They thank and glorify and extol the name of Yahweh spirits forever and ever. And this is the oath. This oath is mighty over them, and through it they are preserved, and their paths are preserved, and their course is not destroyed. That's the close of the third parable. And there was great joy amongst them, and they blessed and glorified and extolled, because the name of that Son of Man had been revealed unto them. And he sat on the throne of his glory, and the sum of judgment was given unto the Son of Man, and he caused the sinners to pass away and be destroyed from off the face of the earth, and those who have led the world astray. With chains shall they be bound, and in their assemblage place of destruction shall they be imprisoned, and all their works vanished from the face of the earth, and from henceforth there shall be nothing corruptible. For that Son of Man has appeared, and has seated himself on the throne of his glory, and all evil shall pass away before his face. And the word of that Son of Man shall go forth and be strong before Yahweh of spirits. This is the third parable of Enoch. And then we're on chapter 70. See, after that, dwell upon the earth. Yeah, I guess I'll finish there. A little bit over an hour. I like to keep them to an hour. Not too long, not too short. So we'll start back at 70 next time. And I hope this was helpful to somebody and a blessing. And have a good one. Let me change this right here right quick. 269.